At last, it has happened. The moment we've been holding our collective breath for. As we count in the days that stretched into years, it's finally just within our reach. The Five Nights at Freddy movie, a brainchild of Scott Cawthon, is now set to scare the daylights out of us, and we can hardly believe it's real. A ride straight from the blissful arcades of a video game fandom and into the sinister limbo of development hell. There were times when we doubted if this terrifying and thrilling adventure would ever see the light of day, and lo and behold, the nightmare fuel is on its way, gearing up to cast its ominous shadows on the big and small screens alike this Halloween. Yes, as we sit here, hearts pounding with anticipation, the question that gnaws at us is, which of our deadly, dreaded animatronics will be gracing the silver screen this autumn? Fear not, as after 17 weeks of writing the behind-the-scenes series for the totally not animatronic Sultan of Slurp Hayden, I know a thing or two about the production of this movie. So buckle up and prepare for the reveals. I'm Connor from Slurp, and this is every animatronic set to appear in the Five Nights at Freddy movie. Number 6. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. After all, they were plastered all over the very first poster for this movie. Five Nights at Freddy released back in 2014, and in that game, these mechanical marvels were once the jolly entertainers of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but quickly became the eerie stars of the show. In the game's dark narrative, the pizza joint itself languishes in a state of decay, a grim monument to a history stained with tragedy. The abduction and presumed murder of 5 innocent children by the malevolent William Afton. A ghastly whisper asserts the tiny victims' remains found their final resting place within the cold, mechanical bodies of the Fab Four. The tantalising tidbits from the trailer suggest that the film's narrative mirrors the game, albeit with a twist on the tale. Our 4 mechanical monsters appear to have their sinister sights set on the sister of our protagonist Mike, brought to life by Josh Hutcherson. A Five Nights flick sans our classic quartet wouldn't quite hit the mark of a faithful adaptation, would it? So rest assured, horror fans, Blumhouse has risen to the occasion, fleshing out our favourite animatronics with truly thrilling finesse. Number 5. Golden Freddy. Hold on to your hats, folks, because if there's one animatronic ready to mine our screens for gold, it's Golden Freddy. And yes, I am unapologetically mining that pun for all it's worth. The shimmering spectre first winked into existence in the original video game, hidden as a surprise 5th animatronic ready to spring into action on any given night. Originally an entertainer, this old Goldie was once the life of the party at Freddy's family diner. Now, what's got us tickling our chins in fascinations is this. Our shiny friend seems to have decided to break tradition and venture outside of the pizzeria. Quite the maverick move, challenging the very lore and games and novels that have been painstakingly crafted. The fan theorists are in overdrive, picking apart the taxi scene from the trailer and that rather tender promotional picture of Golden Freddy holding hands with Abby. Could it be that Golden Freddy isn't out for blood like his mechanical mates, but rather playing the shiny knight protecting Abby Fury Breach? Number 4. Spring Bonnie. When the first full-blown trailer for the Five Nights movie dropped, I jumped into the trenches for a full trailer reaction. As one particular animatronic flashed on screen, I blurted out, "Oh, that's a cool shot. Oh my god, Springtrap." Like piranhas on a fresh piece of meat, the comment section quickly swarmed to enlighten me about my momentous blunder. It wasn't Springtrap, nope, it was Spring Bonnie, who's kinda like Springtrap, but not Folly. If you're not well versed in the lore of this franchise, you'd be forgiven for thinking we've all gone off the deep end. So allow me to unravel this mystery. Who is Spring Bonnie? Making his grand entrance in FNAF 3, Spring Bonnie is the phantom who never actually appears during the night. Spring Bonnie is in fact none other than our infamous William Afton. Yes, this charming fellow. According to lore, back when Afton was alive on his murderous spree, he cunningly used the Spring Bonnie animatronic to lure unsuspecting kids to their doom. This very suit was Afton's undoing. While attempting to hide from former victims, the suit's mechanisms went haywire, impaling Afton from the inside, a moment that has been etched into the annals of FNAF history. After Afton's gruesome demise, he fused with Spring Bonnie, giving rise to a new and menacing animatronic, Springtrap. With Spring Bonnie's cameo in the trailers, fans are confident that we'll get to witness the infamous Springlock incident on the big screen. And let's be honest, it's so obviously going to be the end credit scene, right? The anticipation. Number 3. Balloon Boy. Well, without popping our own balloon here, the eagle-eyed team at Slurp can firmly state that we were well ahead of the curve, practically the sole harbinger of the news that Balloon Boy, the bite-sized Bane, would be gracing his presence. Well, a few moons back, IMDb was kind enough to spill the beans that the role of this menace with a helium habit was to be voiced by the talented Dylan Horner. Hold on, hold your pitchforks, and don't roll your eyes. Yes, we are aware that IMDb isn't exactly the holy grail of movie trivia, but you might have missed that Balloon Boy has already gatecrashed the movie's trailer. In said trailer, we see Piper Rubio's Abby staring at a wall plastered with childish sketches. Amidst the artful chaos, a crude doodle captures Balloon Boy in his signature aesthetic. In terms of lore, adding a touch of intrigue, our helium-infused friend only comes to life on Night 2 in the original Five Nights game series. Unlike his murderous mechanized brethren, Balloon Boy harbours no homicidal tendencies towards the Night Guard. Rather, this little terror has an absolute fetish for nicking flashlight batteries, plunging our guard into terrifying vulnerability against more malevolent animatronics. Now that we've nailed down his movie cameo, we're betting our bottom dollar he'll pop up. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Alright, no more balloon jokes. Now that we've nailed his movie cameo, we're betting our bottom dollar that Balloon Boy will show up during the film's second night. Unlike his fellow antagonists, BB adopts a more stealthy approach, using vents as his own personal highways. Maybe our Abby in the movie will stumble upon him while seeking escape and adventure. Number 2. The Puppet. Our list almost overlooked this one, mainly because the proof we've got, let's be real, is as solid as a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Nevertheless, we've got this leak a few moons ago that claimed Jane Wheeler has been roped in to lend her voice and do the motion capture performance for the puppet in the Five Nights at Freddy movie. Unlike our pint-sized helium merchant, the puppet hasn't scored even a whisper of a hint in the promotional content we've seen so far. Well, unless you count this low-resed image that some die-hard fan is clinging to. Apparently this smudge of white pixels is meant to be the puppet. I suppose if you spin around 3 times, squint, and view it in the reflection of the spoon, you might sort of see it. So if the puppet really is pulling strings in the Five Nights movie, it seems Blumhouse and their marketing team are keeping that card pretty close to their chest, which is a slick move. First time we get to see the creepy character should be with popcorn in our hands and the movie on the silver screen. Decked out in monochrome, this marionette puppet comes with a hollow eyes, a grin wider than the Cheshire Cat's, and tears streaking down its face. The puppet isn't just a bucket of creepy though. There's a whole complex saga playing out behind the mask. As the main baddie in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the security guard doesn't only have to monitor the security cameras for the wandering animatronics, but also constantly winding up the music box to keep the puppet at bay. But don't be fooled. Despite its villainous debut in FNAF 2, later appearances show that it's got a more hero complex, aiming to safeguard children from enduring its tragic fate. If the movie decided to tread this path, maybe Golden Freddy could sway the puppet to join forces, forming a team that could give the Avengers a run for their money. On your left! Ah shit, maybe not. And coming in at the number 1 spot, Springtrap. Come on! It's as certain as a jump scare in a dark pizzeria, isn't it? Given the hints dropped in the trailer and that Matthew Lillard's tantalising hint of a free picture deal, it feels like their odds are better than good that we're getting to see Springtrap lurking in some sort of end credit sequence. Given what we've seen from the story in the trailers, it's gonna f***ing happen, isn't it? And with that said, we bring our list to a close. So what's your take? Have we overlooked any animatronics? Got any wild theories and potential cameo appearances? Blast away in the comment section down below. If you've had a blast, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're a newcomer, do consider subscribing. We've got so much Five Nights content seeping out of our wazoo here. That's a good thing. Trust us. This has been Connor for Slurp. I'll see you next time.
Tell me, do you believe in talking dreams so big that